Hi, my name is Bob Portai, Director of the Brandenburg Group of Orchestras and of course the Brandenburg Spring Choral Festival. And I've come into St Martin's today to meet Emma Johnson, the famous clarinetist. It's fantastic to have you here, Emma.
Thank you, Bob.
Have you been to St Martin's since they did the refurbishment?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it wonderful? Yes. And it makes the life for musicians so much better, because I remember taking part in a lot of Christmas concerts here in the old days when there was nowhere to change and you had to sort of, there were about 10 people in a tiny vestry and nowhere to go to the toilet, go to the, check your makeup or anything, and nowhere to warm up your instruments. So it's just marvellous now what they've done.
It feels like the Hilton Hotel almost. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's great that you popped in because it's an opportunity to talk about our concert, which is coming up on the 4th of November when you're playing the Mozart concerto and the Tartini. It's not a concerto, is it? It's called a concertino. Which I guess means little concerto?
It does, and it was put together by the wonderful English composer Gordon Jacob, and he recognised that there isn't much Baroque music for clarinet, so he thought he'd take matters in hand, and he chose some of the best bits from Tartini's violin pieces, put them all together and made a clarinet, concert piece.
In typical Baroque style?
Yes.
That stealing bits and pieces thing. That's great.
It's very beautiful, and it does suit the clarinet, because the clarinet, it was very early days in the history of the instrument at that point, and the 18th century was just when it was getting going. So that's why there isn't much music from that time of the clarinet, but it really does work, and especially in St Martin in the Fields with the Baroque surroundings, I think it'll really be ideal.
Perfectly. And of course the main piece that we're playing is the Mozart concerto, and it occurred to me that it's quite a contrast. The Mozart is perhaps the most popular clarinet concerto?
No, perhaps about it, but it's the great one.
And the last time we played together was in the Thaxted Festival, and we played the Stanford concerto, which is perhaps not the most popular concerto, superficially.
Not the most well known.
But I know that you're very keen on it. How did you come to that, and what do you think about the Stanford?
I just love it because it's sort of very British and has a lot of melody in it. And I think sometimes those late Victorian composers get a bit underestimated. They've been out of fashion for ages. But Mozart never seems to go out of fashion.
No.
It just seems to mean a lot to a lot of people. And I have to say, I mean, I play it, as you can imagine, I'm often invited to play it. I play it a lot, but I never ever get tired of playing it. There's something just amazing and life-enhancing about it.
And is there a way of, presumably that you prepare for a concert with the Mozart differently from some other pieces, because you don't have to learn the notes anymore?
No.
But you must have to come to it in a fresh way each time.
I do.
Is that
yes.
difficult?
No, it isn't, because each occasion is different and there'll be a different audience there. I'm particularly looking forward to doing it in the acoustic at St Martin's. It's funny, we don't have many good acoustics in London, but this is one of them, and so that inspires you, and it sort of eggs you on and gets you to play beyond yourself if possible.
It sort of feeds itself, doesn't it?
It does, yes. It's like sort of putting something on the end of your instrument, the acoustic. So if it's a duff acoustic, it can be a bit depressing. But here it's just one of those glorious singing, reverberant places.
Well, I think, as you know, we were speaking earlier, and I think you know that after that concert, there's another concert. There's a late night concert, which is quite a contrast. It's the Rachmaninoff Vespers. It's with a fantastic choir called the English Arts Chorale, and conducted by Leslie Olive, and they make the most amazing sound. And of course, the acoustic in St Martin's is just perfect for voices. That's a late night concert, so after your toils on the Mozart, if you want to relax, maybe you might like to stay and join us for that. We'll see how you feel.
Well, that's very kind. Yes, I mean, it's always hard to wind down quickly after a concert, so that might be the ideal thing.
Something that I guess you've been asked before, but it's always fascinating to people like me, is what on earth made you start the clarinet? Because clearly you've got a great empathy with the instrument, but how did that happen, and what age was that?
It was about the age of 8 or 9, I think, and I was very lucky because my infant school said that they would let you learn an instrument of your choice. And so I went to the music shop with my father, and the clarinet was the cheapest. So he said, that's the one for you. But it was the ideal choice anyway, because I was absolutely crazy about the recorder and playing it, getting up early in the morning to play it and waking everybody up. So I think the clarinet was a very good step on from that.
So did you wake them all up with lots of squeaks and squawks to begin with?
Probably, yes.
Well, no, that's brilliant. That's really interesting. I think we're sort of closing up really. It's been a great pleasure having you come in for a chat. We thought about the concert a bit, which is always useful to focus the mind.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in. I'm really looking forward to the 4th
Me
of
too.
November.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
And
4th of November, yes.
4th of November. It'll be a splendid concert. Thank you.